First of all, I will talk about the background of COVID-19. COVID-19 pandemic is the greatest challenge the whole world has faced and a global health crisis. Since the virus has spread nearly to every country, World Health Organization has announced it as a pandemic on 12 March 2020. The virus is caused by severe acute respiratory syndrome, coronavirus 2. The usual symptoms is fever, dry cough, and tiredness. However, in some cases, there are some infected people that does not show any symptoms and do not feel unwell. Those people are called as asymptomatic carriers. The virus is easily spread to elderly, children, pregnant women, and those with chronic disease. In Malaysia, the first case was detected on 25th January 2020. Therefore, when the case start to increase rapidly, the government has announced the implementation of Movement Control Order. Now, I will briefly explain about e-learning. E-learning is also known as online learning, where information technology and internet technology apply. E-learning has arisen along with the innovation of technology and globalization. This type of learning has impact on how educators teach and how the students accept the knowledge and information provided. According to Sarah, e-learning is a new phenomenon and relate with the use of electronic media for variety use of learning purposes. E-learning is suitable for all levels of education and it has providing various methods or ways for students to get their study materials and interact with their educators.
What is communication? Communication is simply the act of transferring information from one place, person or group to another. Every communication involves at least one sender, a message, and a response. This may sound simple, but communication is simply a very complex subject. The exact meaning of the word communicate is to share or to participate. The dictionaries say that communication is the transmission of a message of information by speaking or writing. Communication is giving, receiving, or exchanging ideas, information, signals, or messages through appropriate media, enabling individuals or groups to persuade, to seek information, to give information, or to express emotions. There are 4 categories of communication, which are: the first one is spoken or verbal communication, which includes face-to-face, telephone, radio, or television, and other media. The second one is a non-verbal communication, which are covering body language, gestures, how we dress or act, where we stand, and even our scent. And the third one is a written communication, which includes letters, emails, social media, books, magazines, the internet, and other media. And the last one is visualizations, which are graphs and charts, maps, logos, and other visualizations can all communicate messages.
Next, I will continue with the challenges in e-learning during COVID-19. The first challenges is internet connectivity. As we all know, internet connectivity is compulsory during online distance learning. That's why unstable internet connectivity cannot cover the progressive e-learning needs. The students that live in an urban or rural area cannot cope or struggling with the homework gap that are given by their educator. The poor connectivity of internet delay the submission of homework or any assignment that are given by the educator. For instance, the students that are living in rural area, especially in East Malaysia, Sabah and Sarawak, they cannot join the online class that are conducted by the educator because of the poor internet connectivity. Next challenges is different online method. During online distance learning, the educator likely to use numerous digital learning tools to deliver the e-learning lesson such as Google Meet, Skype, Google Classroom, Zoom Meeting, Instagram, YouTube, and many more. Meanwhile, the educator they are not very information technology IT usually use simplex methods such as Telegram and WhatsApp. This is due to huge digital divide among educators of different age group causes them to use different teaching platform. For example, some of the educator likes to explain their lesson using video. Meanwhile, some of the educator likely to use text to explain their lesson. So it's hardly to communicate with the educator. Lack of support is one of the challenges in e-learning during COVID-19. Physical absence of the educator during online distance learning means that the educator may not be available to guide or support the student where they need most. The students need to wait for the next class to get a support, or they need to reach out the educator using any communication channel that are available. The lack of communication support by the educator causes the student to have a rough time completing their assignment. For instance, the limited time in completing their assignment or instruction that are not clearly stated causes the student to have emotionally unstable. Next challenges in e-learning during COVID-19 is a financial problem. Broadband data is necessary for the students to access the internet during online distance learning. The students need to invest their money to purchase the data. However, not all the students born with a silver spoon in their mouth, so they have a hard time to purchase the data. For example, the broadband data amounted 35 ringgit per month, and one semester have 6 months. Then 35 ringgit multiplied by 6 months amounted 210 ringgit. The students need to pay 210 ringgit to buy the broadband data. This issue mainly faced by the students that are live outside the urban area, which is rural area. In addition, the household income for students that come from B40 family is 2,005 ringgit per month. The household income predominantly used to buy basic necessary for life sustainability, including food, utility bills, and other. Thus, the students that have financial problems cannot afford to purchase the data for online distance learning. Lastly, the challenges in e-learning during COVID-19 is computer illiteracy. Computer illiteracy will affect the communication between the students and their educator during online distance learning. In online education industry, the students use basic programs to operate such as Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint, and Microsoft Excel. The educator that are using traditional classroom will having a difficulties in dealing with the online distance learning. For instance, the educator that are not master the skill of the basic program will having the difficulty in communicating or explaining the lesson plan with their students during online distance learning. The technological proficiency compulsory for the following online courses, as it is enable the students to manage the assignment and coursework in an organized manner without struggling.
So next is the advantages of e-learning during COVID-19. Online learning also appeals to many students. So in this diagram, Advantages of e-learning during COVID-19 are providing flexibility in participation, efficiencies, accessibility, affordability, and convenience. Online learning also improves student attendance and suits a variety of learning styles. Student participation. Ease of participation is an aspect of the appeal of virtual classroom. One of the more flexible aspects of cyber learning is the ability of students to engage in a mixed learning environment, either asynchronous or synchronous. Online education will take a variety of forms, from website to mailing lists to course management platforms such as Blackboard. Students may engage in chat room in real time or asynchronous by contributing to newsletter or forum. By being prepared for all these means of communication, students are given an easier route of communication either with the educator or with other students in the classroom. The field of play is set of communications proposed and everyone in the class will participate. Second is efficiencies. Online learning provides educators with an effective means to offer lessons to students. Online learning provides a variety of resources such as video, PDF, podcasts, and educators can use any of these tools as part of their lesson plans. By expanding the lesson plan beyond conventional textbooks to incorporate online content, educators may become more effective educators. Apart from that, online learning also offers flexible accessibility of time and place. Another advantage of online education is that it encourages students to take classes from any places of their choosing. It also enables schools to reach out to a broader network of students rather than being restricted by regional borders. In addition, online lecture can be recorded, archived, and shared for future reference purposes. This helps students to view learning resources at a time of comfort. Online learning thereby provides students with access to time and place in education. Affordability. Affordability is also one of the advantages of online learning. A further benefit of online learning is reduced financial costs. Virtual education is much more accessible than physical schooling. This is because online learning reduces student transportation, student meals, and most significantly, real estate expenses. In addition, all courses of research material are accessible online, providing a paperless learning experience that is more affordable and often helpful to the environment. Online learning also offers convenience. It applies to the convenience attribute as the primary value of online learning. Students are in the situation where they choose the convenience of online learning over time offered by brick and mortar classroom. The ease of online learning enables direct communications between educators and peers in the cyber class. Another advantage is improved student attendance and suits a variety of learning styles. Improved student attendance means since online classes can be taken from home or location of choice, there are fewer chances of students missing out on lesson. Therefore, students need to attend the class no matter what. This is to prevent them from missing lessons. Meanwhile, such a variety of learning style means each student has a different learning journey and a different learning style. Few students are visual learners, while others tend to learn by audio. Similarly, some students thrive in the classroom and others are single learners who are overwhelmed by big crowds. The online learning system, with its variety of choice and tools, can be personalized in several ways. It is the easiest way to build a perfect learning experience tailored to the needs of each student.
As conclusion, it may be said that ODL may be new and different, but it also allowed the student to successfully experience their academic potential. Most people were resistant to face ODL as they normalize the face-to-face education, but in fact, they need to normalize this ODL since it has become the new norm. Although online learning has caused difficulties, but it also offers advantages to both students and educators. For students, they will be able to enhance their knowledge in information technology and explore various types of study methods. And for the educators, they can make the teaching method become more engrossing. We can see that online learning, especially during this pandemic COVID-19, has its own pros and cons. Despite the challenges, online learning leads to better students' participation. In spite of certain defects, online learning is very useful and it is become more and more popular all around the world. That's all from us. Thank you for watching.